Hey again, and I'm gonna answer some more questions, yay! Oh, do your colleagues... Does your colleagues or does your boss... Why would you change... Am I wrong? Is it do your colleagues? I mean, whatever. Something your colleagues or something your boss know that you have Asperger's. Yes, they do. In fact, when I applied for it, I told him that I have Asperger's, and he was like, "Well, I don't know what that is," and I explained it a bit, which is a lot better than them hearing stuff about Asperger's. I actually explained it. I can be a bit picky. I kind of like having stuff my own way. I'm not very people friendly. Some of it are bad, but there's also good stuff about it. I made a little speech, and since he, like I said, since he used to be a teacher, he was very understanding. He's worked with people with problems before, not Asperger's, but other problems. So he was just like, hey, okay, let's work together as best as we can, and it worked out fine. If your boss is a douchebag, he might have a different reaction, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't tell them, because it's actually important for them to know for different reasons. I can't go into that because it would take for long. Yeah. If they don't, how do you manage to keep it a secret? I don't keep secrets. I am very honest, because secrets. What is it they said? It's the quote from some smart guy. If you always tell the truth, you never have to remember anything. That's the fact, because liars have to remember a lot of things in order to keep the lie up. There's also another quote in the lines of, if you lie, the only person you're lying to is yourself, because you're keeping yourself in a fake world that you imagined up. You're lying to yourself. For other people, they're still living in the real world, but for you, you're living in a fake world that doesn't exist. So lying is not something I do. Yeah. Is it difficult in Sweden to find a job if you have Asperger's? Not at all. There's actually a place. I think they shut down. I think. I don't think it did that well, but whatever. There's a place that only hire people with Asperger's, because they do have strength. So they took those strengths and put them onto workplaces. I'm not sure how it ended up, but it was in the magazines, so people read all that, and nobody flinched. Sweden is a very good place when it comes to being politically correct and all that. We're such wimps that we never say a bad word about stuff. So yeah, it's not really a problem. Go to the next question. Fur1695 asks, I'm having trouble making merengues. Can you give me any tips? Okay, I always fail my merengues, so I almost want to say no, I can't give you any tips. But my boss gave me an interesting tip. He said that he makes merengues by putting them on extremely low heat for the entire day, overnight, basically. Instead of putting them in at 100 degrees. How is that? How high it's supposed to be, or is it more than no? If you have a oven with steam, I think it's also easier to do. But whatever. Instead of putting them at a high degree for like 1 hour or two, put them in at 60 degrees for 4, 5, 6 hours. I haven't tried it, and I'm not quite sure about those numbers. But the logic is sound, because then they will very slowly get done to the middle. An egg needs to be at least 60 degrees in order to coagulate, or whatever it's called, harden up. So you need to put the oven at least 60 degrees, I'm guessing. Celsius, I mean. And then it's just a matter of waiting until it's completely done all the way through. And if it sticks, then you put butter paper at the bottom. Maybe put the butter paper on a thing that's not metal, because the metal gets too hot and burns it at the bottom. From personal experience, you need to have them in long enough, because if you don't, they're gonna be all squishy in the middle. Even though some people like that, that's not how they're supposed to be. They might even look and almost feel done, but you have to have them in a tiny bit extra, just to be sure. That was a long answer for that short question, but I am a chef and I like cooking, so yeah, merengues. Merengues are tasty, especially like banana and merengue and some ice cream and some whipped cream too, if you want to be all fancy about it. Yeah. Next question quickly. Where is it? There it is. Sorry, but I have one. It's Isu Smiley again. Damn it. Sorry, but I have one more question. I get the idea because it's happening to me. Do you tend to think about suicide? Right. I saw this question and I realized that that's one of those questions I should make an entire video about, because I can't just make a quick remark here and just let it go. It's a very important thing. But I'm gonna answer this quickly for now. I used to think about suicide. I used to have serious depression, and for a while I actually was close to suicide-ish. I don't know if I would have done it. I don't want to know if I would have done it, but I did think about suicide. Mainly because of the bullying in school. My life just wasn't... It felt like it would never go anywhere. It did, so I'm glad I didn't. I think that's the whole point of it. Like, it's gonna go somewhere. You just need to get over the hill. Life is a roller coaster. You go up and down. Sometimes you're at the lowest part, but eventually you're gonna go up again. And, otherwise just do what I did. Just get so mad at life that you decide that life isn't gonna win. And just keep fighting for your own sake. But yeah, I might make a video about that at a later date. But I hope you don't die before then. That was a joke about suicide. I shouldn't have done that. Now that I think about it. Anyway, seriously though, I know what you feel, so take care and stuff. Papanda 1995 asks, comment removed. Yes, I say to that. Yes, indeed. Begyon13 asks, first, thank you for everything that you've done. I've recently tested for Asperger's, and while my therapist said I tested in the so-called normal people area of the autism spectrum, she said I only just barely qualified as normal on the autism spectrum, that I have very strong Asperger's-like tendencies. Your videos have been very helpful to me in becoming more comfortable with who I am and in accepting myself. Please keep making videos. That wasn't a question. Wait, is the question up here? Oh, second. Right. Come on. Second. How has being an Aspie impacted you in pursuing and perpetuating intimate relationships? I don't know what perpetuating mean actually, to be honest. Pursuing intimate relationships. Any suggestions for overcoming these challenges? Some background that I don't actually want or need, rather. I asked to be tested for Asperger's because I have a difficult time understanding or knowing how other people are feeling, having empathy. Not that I don't have feelings myself, I very much do. This wasn't a problem with casual friends, but has been a problem for me with my wife since we came close and got married. And he wrote wife with a capital W. That's nice. That's nice of him. No. Nope. I have no tips for that. Because having a relationship with Asperger's is really in no way different from having a relationship with a normal person. Because And a relationship is about giving and taking. You can't just give and you can't just take. You have to have some demands. You also have to cave in at certain points for the other person. With Asperger's, it's the same way. I don't care how you feel about certain things. In some cases, you just kind of have to do things. I'm gonna talk about this more in a bit when I get another question, I think. But an Aspie, the Aspie shouldn't be forced to do stuff that makes him feel bad. Obviously, certain things like going out in public might make him feel bad. Like, you shouldn't force the guy to go out shopping for food alone if he hates that, for example. But you shouldn't be forced to do it yourself either, just because the guy is like, oh, I have Asperger's, I can't do that. So you have to compromise. You can both go shopping, for example. There's even online shopping for groceries now. It's about compromising. It's a very important part of a relationship. And it's not just for Aspies. But yeah, you should never use your Asperger's as an excuse unless it's something that actually gives you mental bad feelings, which some cases it does. So the only difference between a normal relationship and an Aspie normal relationship is that with Aspie you have to kind of give and take more specific things. You have to actually think about the relationship a lot more, because it's very, very possible to do it. It might just take a bit extra work. But if you love the person, and I hope you do, since you married the person, and if the person loves you back, there's nothing stopping you. It doesn't matter who comes and punches you in the face. You will always stand up and defend your woman, because that's what love is. So don't worry about it too much. You will find a way to make it work, and if you don't, you're gonna have a lot of arguments. And if you can't find a way to deal with arguments, then you might have like divorces and stuff. But in that case, I don't think it's love, because real love conquers all. That's my theory, if you call it that. That was very mushy of me. So next video, I'm not gonna be mushy at all. Maybe.